tuned for Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
The Palace hosts Dennis Rodman night tonight as the Worm, hanging out with Pistons season ticket holders, later will become just the 8th player in team history to have his number raised to the rafters. Tonight live from the Palace on Dennis Rodman night, it's the Pistons and Chicago Bulls. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting night of NBA basketball. I'm George Blaha, live at the Palace with my partner, Special K himself, Gregory Kelser. And Greg, what a great honor for the Worm. Number 10 going upstairs.
Tremendous honor. I am so happy to see it happen. Of course, Dennis was an integral part of the Pistons' first 2 championships. It's an honor so richly deserved, and he was certainly one of my all-time favorite Pistons.
And the Pistons are playing one of his former teams tonight as well. The Chicago Bulls are in, and that means we're going to get some great guard play. Let's start with the Pistons, and the guy who played very well at Indiana despite the loss helped bring the Pistons all the way back from 25 down to a single-digit deficit. He scored 14 of his 24 in the fourth, and Gregory, 9 assists, 7 boards. That's almost a triple-double.
Very close. He was tremendous in that game against the Pacers. And Rodney says he will do whatever he has to do, whether he starts or comes off the bench. Well, he certainly is proving that, George, because all of this action is off the bench. Dishing nicely, attacking that basket, and making the most of his minutes. He has been a most valuable sub, and he'll be counted on again tonight.
Well, he'll be matched up, I'm sure, for much of the night against Derrick Rose. Now, this is a very nice basketball team the Bulls have, but make no mistake about it. This guy makes them go, averaging 25 and 8 assists, the only guy in the league in the top 10 in scoring and assists.
Well, there are not many guys who are impossible to stop, but Derrick Rose certainly is one of them. He penetrates at will, and it's so difficult to guard him because if you play off, he's popping the jumper. And if you get up on him, he's attacking your big people inside, finishing, getting to the foul line, and getting them in foul trouble. So the Pistons know they've got a dilemma tonight. It will probably take more than just one guy to stop Derrick Rose.
We're going to have some fun tonight, including at the half, when Dennis Rodman's number 10 is raised to the rafters. Let's send it now to Mickey York in our Call Sam studio.
Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. We go.
Now it's time for Greg's Game Plan, brought to you by the Bernstein Advantage. Get the Bernstein Advantage, nothing but net. Here's Special K.
Thanks a lot, George. The Chicago Bulls come in tonight and they bring Derrick Rose. He's going to get my vote for MVP. Why? Because the Bulls at the beginning of the season were supposed to finish 4th in the East, yet it looks like they're going to finish first. He's the reason why.
He's certainly the favorite.
And the Bulls have been mighty scary on the boards, folks. And when they really get it going, it is tough to keep them away. They had a plus 16 rebound advantage 2 nights ago against the Timberwolves. So if you're the Pistons, man up on the boards from the very beginning.
You got to crash the board.
Absolutely. And then how about this guy? He has been an absolute Piston nemesis. Carlos Boozer. You know, it's been 7 years since he has lost a game to the Pistons. So many of those wins occurred when he was a member of the Jazz, but he's undefeated so far as a member of the Bulls. Look out.
Yeah, look out for Carlos. The Pistons are waiting for the Bulls, though, here at the Palace, hoping to take down the East top team on Dennis Rodman night, next on Fox Sports Detroit. In Detroit 25 years ago, but the memories haven't faded. 7 stellar seasons. 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. his own chapter of the Pistons record book, and those back-to-back world championships. Tonight, Dennis Rodman's name rightfully takes its place among the Pistons' all-time greats, with the renewal of one of the franchise's greatest rivalries playing out as the ideal backdrop. It's the Pistons and Bulls on Dennis Rodman Night at the Palace, starting now on Fox Sports Detroit. Welcome, everybody, to what will be a spectacular night here at the beautiful Palace of Auburn Hills. Tom Thibodeau, whose team has the best record in the Eastern Conference, brings his Chicago Bulls in, and here are his starters presented to you by Big Boy. Up front, with Joakim Noah out with a right ankle sprain, the veteran Kurt Thomas, flanked by Carlos Boozer and Luol Deng. MVP candidate Derrick Rose at point guard, and the defensive-minded starter Keith Bogan with him in the backcourt. John Kuster's Pistons with a chance to make a little noise tonight before a packed house against the Bulls. Here are Coach Q's starters presented by Meyer. Tayshaun Prince and Greg Monroe and Chris Wilcox up front, and that's been a very, very good front line. In the backcourt, Rip Hamilton again at shooting guard. Tracy McGrady out with some back problems. Will Bynum is back, and he will start at point guard tonight. So they'll have the luxury of bringing Rodney Stuckey off the bench and put some pressure, I'm sure, on the Bulls with Will the Thrill. Our officials tonight are Mark Davis, Eric Dalen, and Tom Washington. And let's check in now before we tip it up and get it going with our man Eli Zary.
Well, ever since it was first announced that the Pistons are going to retire Dennis Rodman's number 10, rookie Greg Monroe wondered, will he mind if I continue to wear it? And what will it be like to approach him and meet him and even ask him the question? Well, the moment and the answer both happened this morning. And Monroe said, even though people told me to just approach him and ask, it wasn't easy. He won 5 championships and Defensive Player of the Year awards, but he got the answer he wanted. Rodman told him, it's your choice, makes no difference to me. You got my blessing. Monroe thanked him and stepped aside. Rodman told me he feels undeserving. Thought someone was playing a joke on him when he was approached about the jersey retirement. Greg and George, Rodman seems, and I spent about an hour with him today, as appreciative and humble as the day he arrived back in 1986. It seems like he's been gone 20 days, not these nearly 20 years. Should be a great night. I know both of you are excited, and here we go.
What a wonderful story. And I'm sure Greg Monroe was nervous, Gregory.
I bet he was. I mean, you're talking to one of the greats this franchise has ever known, and in a lot of people's minds, one of the great players and certainly great characters that has ever played in this league. But I'm glad that Dennis left it up to Greg Monroe. His number may be shared, but his name will be up there, George, all alone. Dennis Rodman.
There is Dennis with Dennis Rodman Jr. on one side and his wife Michelle on the other. And there's the current number 10. And if he does continue to wear number 10, he will be the last to wear number 10 in the Motor City, Greg Monroe.
Now for the basketball game, George. You know, I've been in both situations. Teams preparing for the playoffs like the Bulls are. Teams playing a little bit of spoiler like the Pistons. And if you're the spoiler tonight, if you're the Pistons, you got to embrace this opportunity.
Sure you do.
Because a lot of eyes are on the Bulls as they ascend. If you're the Pistons, they're watching you tonight. This is an opportunity to shine.
The Bulls at 54-20, playing 7:30 basketball, and the leaders of the East get it first. Rose with a quick dish to Bogans. Rose gets it back against Will. Here's the drive and the finish.
You know, George, I think as a help side defender, you really have to sell out. You have to go all out towards Rose and not let him finish so easily. It's tough for the guard guarding him to stay in front. You know he's coming. You got to think. Go after him if you're a help side defender.
Pistons get a miss from Rip. Carlos Boozer with the rebound for the Bulls. Dressed in their familiar red uniforms, trimmed in black. Luol Deng gets a screen from Kirk Thomas. Pistons force a turnover there right in front of Tom Thibodeau on the Bulls bench. Flicked off the Bulls and out of bounds by Greg Monroe. So John Kuster's crew can tie it up. We're a minute in here at the Palace. Tayshaun fakes the handoff to Rip. Clock at 10. Sideline feed to Will, nearly swiped by Derrick Rose, but Eric Dalen, the official, blocked his way.
Can't argue with that, though. Officials are part of the basketball court.
Our shot clock is down to 7 for the Pistons. Tayshaun with an up fake on Deng, now fires over him short. Rebound run down by Greg Monroe.
He looked like Dennis Rodman running that rebound down.
Didn't he? Rip inside to Greg. All the way across the paint, sideline to Tayshaun for the long gun. No! Slam through by leaping Will Bynum. The Chicago native dunks on the Bulls.
My goodness, Will Bynum, what an opportunity that was when the ball came off. He was elevated already.
Hogan's shot kicks out of bounds.
George, he was up there waiting for the thing to come off and get off the cylinder. He gets a running start right down the middle. Now watch this. He's up there. Oh, my goodness. Will Bynum.
Can he get up and throw it down? Yes, he can. 2-2 at the Palace after the Bulls miss. Tayshaun with a drive and the finish. Pistons lead him 4-2.
Pistons should look to attack the basket as much as they can. Not a lot of shot blocking out there for the Bulls.
Hoosier with the turn and gun. Off it comes to Will. Tapped to him by Greg Monroe. Will back it out against Rose. Gives it up to Chris Wilcox. Gets it back. Still 14 on the clock. Went inside. Ball batted away. Swipe by Rose. Rose on the run. Rose to the rim off the high glass. And he hit it.
George, that was 1 on 3. Rose against 3 Pistons, and he somehow negotiated and avoided that shot block. I thought Tayshaun Prince might get it.
We've seen some spectacular plays already. Chris Wilcox screens for Rip. Now he's open. He fires. He fills it up.
They left the best option in that situation unguarded. Richard Hamilton was trying to hit a cutting Chris Wilcox. They played Wilcox, both Chicago Bull defenders, and left Rip totally alone to take that shot.
Pistons up 6-4 after the make by Rip. Deng inside. Scores over Rip with help from Greg Monroe. Didn't matter. Deng with the score at 6-6. Very underrated performer. Luol Deng averages 17.5 and 6 rebounds. Falling down is Bogans. Now he's back up. The clock's at 10 for Chris Wilcox. Back to Will. And Deng plays the passing lane for the steal. Luol Deng to the rim, lays it up and lays it in. He averages better than a steal a game as well. That's 2 plays in the passing lane by the Bulls. One a successful steal. The other maybe could have been, except Derrick Rose ran into referee Eric Dalen. Shot clock inside 10 for the Pistons. Bulls lead 8-6. Rip, low to Greg Monroe. Have to shoot it in a hurry. Does. It's off the iron. He got it back for Rip. Rip from the lane. Off the heel. Greg Monroe with a rebound. To a wide open Tayshaun for the long gun. Short. Tay with his own rebound. Facing gun, and he got it.
That's the type of intensity that was truly lacking the early part of the Indiana game, George. That's good to see here against these Bulls, and if the Pistons can sustain it, then they give themselves an excellent chance here tonight.
I'll tell you what, the Pistons looked wired. They know it's a special night. It is Dennis Rodman night, and number 10 will be raised to the rafters at the half. Right now, the Pistons against Derrick Rose, and the Bulls were all even at 8.
numbers retired by the Pistons. Number 8 will be here tonight with Dennis Rodman's number 10 being raised to the Raptors at halftime. It's my pleasure to be joined now by the microwave himself. And Vinny, you've been through this ceremony before. What kind of emotions, what kind of feelings is Dennis going through right now as he gets set for his jersey to get raised to the Raptors?
It's very emotional. You know, you get to see a lot of faces that you haven't seen in a long time. A lot of memories come back to you. You look up in the rafters, see the championship banners, see a lot of old friends. It just brings back a lot of memories, and it's just a great night. You got your family here, a lot of friends, a lot of old teammates. Good chance to get caught up and see how people are doing. So it's a special night.
Take us back to 1986, 25 years ago. You get your first look at a wiry kid from a small school from Oklahoma. What are your first impressions of Dennis Rodman back then?
Needs to put on some weight. But there's no question that from day one he was a hard worker. He was out to prove himself, prove that he belonged. He wanted us to believe in him because he came from a small school. He was drafted late, but there's no doubt about it. Within the first week, we knew he was a keeper, and he impressed us all.
Impressed us all indeed. I know you're looking forward to this ceremony tonight. Mr. 007, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, George, there's Vinny Johnson. We'll send it back to you and Greg downstairs.
Great stuff from VJ. Thanks, Ryan. The Bulls, meantime, have scored twice out of their timeout. First, Luol Deng, and now Carlos Boozer. And it's 12-8, Chicago. Rip off a screen from Wilcox. Nice feed inside. Greg Monroe with the bunny.
Very nice, and it all came off movement, and if you get the movement, even if you're setting a screen and you're not part of the play call, you can still end up being the best option, as was the case a moment ago with Greg Monroe.
Boozer can shoot it, does, and he sticks it. Carlos Boozer makes it 14-10 Chicago.
He's coming off a really solid game, 24 and 14 against the Timberwolves. Was a big part of the Chicago Bulls getting off to a great start in that game, George. They led by 11 at the end of one.
Off a Tayshaun miss, Derrick Rose with a rebound. Tayshaun hustled back to break up the break. This game's available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Luol Deng with a shot clock at 15. Kurt Thomas goes back to Deng. The clock's at 10. And as he starts along the baseline, he steps out of bounds. Bulls by 4, Pistons with it. Just over halfway through the first on Dennis Rodman night at the Palace. Overplaying the passes. Luol Deng nearly got that taken away from Tayshaun. Rip turns over a double team, misfires. Boozer looking way up for Rose. Tapped by Will. Picked off by Rip. Will fakes the pass. Now does dump it deep to Tayshaun. Looked like he was hit. Rip gets it back, fires and fills it up.
He was hit, but the Pistons again going after the basketball and getting a lot of those long rebounds for second chance opportunities is a big part of their success story offensively in this first quarter so far. The rebounding off the offensive glass.
7-3 overall rebounding advantage. Chicago inside. Good cut by Bogans for the score.
You know, George, he doesn't get too many opportunities to score, and he certainly doesn't score too much inside the arc.
Former teammate of Tayshaun at Kentucky. Will with a nice feed to Chris Wilcox and a dynamite dunk. Bulls lead trimmed to 2. Just over 4 to play in the first. Derrick Rose on top to Boozer. Screen from Thomas. Boozer with the drive. Collision with Chris Wilcox. Whistle from Eric Dalen, and a Chris Wilcox foul, his first.
Here, a fine cut to the basket is 2. defenders, both Rose and Thomas, were concentrating on Will Bynum, and Will Bynum was able to slip a bounce pass through to a cutting Wilcox for another Pistons high percentage shot.
Boozer gets the first one. It's a way back Wednesday when the Pistons host the Nets this Wednesday at 7:30 on Superhero Night. Get 2 lower level tickets for just $57, plus 2 retro giveaways. Or get 2 upper level tickets for $19, that's all. Log on to Pistons.com and call the Palace at 248-377-0100. One superhero already here.
I was a big Batman fan. The one played by Adam West, of course.
See, I was a Superman guy. Ripped from the baseline, fires and fills it up.
Well, you know, George, the Pistons have calmed themselves after a couple of early turnovers. They're moving that ball briskly now and getting, again, wide open shots off the movement.
Chicago by just 2. Kurt Thomas inside for Boozer, turns and fires short. Greg Monroe with another rebound. Rodney Stuckey into the ball game. Goes baseline on Rose, fires, it won't fall. Kicked around and out it comes to Derrick Rose. Chicago with Ronnie Brewer into the ball game. And he sets up Boozer, who now has 8. It's 20-16.
They are really emphasizing Boozer with his post-ups. He's delivering right now.
A lot of room for him to operate without Joakim Noah. The Pistons with another turnover, and Derrick Rose won't be able to score here. Rodney puts a body on him, and he will be called for the foul, but no basket, no chance for an and one. But Boozer's been eating the Pistons up. Timeout, Chicago by 4. By 4, Dennis's number 10 goes to the Raptors at the half. He will speak to the crowd. Is he nervous? Darn right he is.
But here in a controlled environment, and people just standing there watching you, and you got to sit there and talk to these people, it's like, that's a whole different story, brother. Whole different story. And plus, and all the people here that really that's been brothers and sisters to you, and it's just hard because I said, wow, you know. That's why I keep saying, I don't deserve this. I really don't deserve it. I deserve to be a part of the whole collective group.
Well put by Dennis, and I'm sure that his speech at the half will be poignant. As you see Dennis with wife Michelle. And how about this? We are wired tonight. We got the bad boys, and we got the Dennis face cards. It's a special night, Gregory.
It really is. And, you know, when you can top all that off with the fact that, you know, those guys won championships, that's the bond right there. And that's the thing that Dennis speaks of when he talks about being a part of the collective group. That's the thing that never dies.
Well said by Special K. Jack McCloskey's in the house. He will speak at the half. The man who drafted the Worm. Hey, vote for your Pistons McDonald's player of the game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Use your cell phone, text Pistons, followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Final results after the game on Pistons Live, and check your text reply for a special offer from McDonald's. Rose gets 1 for 2, 21-16 Chicago. Just over 2.5 to play in the first. Rip off the screen from Greg Monroe, goes back inside of the rookie big man. Top side to Tayshaun, good pump fake. Runs it up and in. Pro move. 21-18, Tayshaun was 6.
Tayshaun is always so patient, you know, and he gives that convincing pump fake, and it got rid of Dang for sure and allowed Tayshaun a wider open look.
Brewer with the drive and scoop short. Austin Day just inserted, gets the rebound. 1:48 to play in the first as Rodney kicks it to Austin in the corner. He'll give it up to Tayshaun, get it back, fire, and fill it! A triple for young Austin Day.
Speaking of patience, he caught it the first time, but he was not in his rhythm to shoot the basketball. Gave it up, got it back from Tayshaun, and the second time around, George was definitely ready and paid it off.
The Bulls will take a 20-second timeout here. The Pistons have tied it up at 21. To Mike. There is Jack McCloskey with his lovely wife, Leslie. Jack drafted the Worm, 27th overall and 86 from Southeast Oklahoma State. And the rest is history. That's the man who built the bad boys right there, Trader Jack. Derrick Rose with a jumper for the Bulls out of their 22nd timeout. Doesn't get it. Rodney to forecourt on the run. Greg Monroe slips it up. No. Rebound yanked down by Thomas to Rose.
The catch was tough in the crowd, and the finish is going to be even tougher for Greg Monroe.
Rose sets up Luol Deng, who has 8. And the Bulls lead by 2, 23-21. Rip against Ronnie Brewer. Clock at 10. Backs him in, bounces to the cutting Rodney Stuckey, and Rose knocks it away. What a play to Brewer. Back to Rose. Stripped by Rip, but he got him on the arm, says Mark Davis.
You know, George, the Bulls are showing the Pistons tonight you cannot be lazy with your ball handling or your passing. They're playing the passing lanes, and they're they're getting opportunities to run and score in transition. One of the interesting development is you think about Derrick Rose, who is capable of shooting 25 times a game. They're trying to pull some of that back. Trying to get him to take a lot fewer shots and keep his teammates involved.
Let's check the Pistons' upcoming schedule for Tim Hortons at Boston and at Washington next. Then home against the Nets and Bucks. Then the Pistons go to Charlotte next Saturday and come home against the Cavs the next night. Tim Hortons with the Pistons' upcoming schedule. Rose with a pair of free throws. He has 7. 25-21 Chicago. Austin Day nearly lost it. Now he does. Another takeaway by the Bulls. 3-on-1 break. Rose lays it up, lays it in, and a foul.
Hey, again.
Rodney's second foul.
Yeah, Austin Day slips, so he's not able to be as strong with the basketball as he would want to be, and the Bulls pounced on him. Look at this. Right there. Take it away and take off. Now, Derrick Rose, a lot of his shots are coming off defense right now. Ed Pinckney, one of the assistant coaches for the Bulls, told me before the game, we've won 8 of our last 10 games. In those 2 games we lost, Rose had high shooting numbers in terms of shots attempted. He says when he keeps it down in the 17 to 18 range, we're a far better team. So that's why they're trying to keep him shooting the ball a little less, but today he's shooting off of defense, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. 7-0 run for the Bulls. Derrick Rose with the and one make. He has 10. It's 28-21. There's Derrick Rose. Pistons shot clock at 12. Rip and Rodney, Greg Monroe, Austin Day, and Tayshaun. Pistons try to go inside to Greg, and it's knocked away by Kurt Thomas. This is as handsy as I've seen a team defensively this season.
Yeah, but I think the Pistons, George, are helping them a little bit. Tentative passing out there.
And Derrick Rose catches him back on their heels and triples with 0.4 of a second to play in the first. A 10-0 first quarter finish for Chicago after the Pistons had tied it at 21 on Dennis Rodman night. The Worms' number 10 goes upstairs at the half. You're watching Pistons basketball from the Palace on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Is brought to you by PNC Bank. Proud to Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by PNC Bank. Proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Detroit Pistons. By Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum taste. And by the finest luxury crossover ever, the 2011 Buick Enclave. Visit your Metro Detroit Buick dealer today for great offers.
What a finish by Chicago in the first. They score the last 10, the last 8 of the 10 by Derrick Rose, who had 13, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds in the first. Greg, you're worried about him in your game plan, and you were right. Pistons start the second by going inside, and Jason Maxiell converts. The Pistons need more of that, and a few stops. While Dang down the lane, poked away by the Pistons, picked up by Ronnie Brewer. C.J. Watson's just checked in. Pump fake loses Rodney. The set is short, though. Jason Maxiell on to send it forecourt to Rodney. Another steal by Chicago.
George just a hair late with the recognition. Rodney Stuckey was open long, but Jason Maxiell would have been the one that hit him off the rebound. Once he passed it and Ben Gordon tried to catch him, the Bulls had already recovered.
Brewer scores and draws the foul on Charlie Villanueva. Charlie v. Austin Day, Jason Maxiell, Ben Gordon, and Rodney on the court for the Pistons.
Startling stat. This early in the game, the Pistons 8 turnovers, and the Bulls have scored 18 points off of them.
Chicago now with 7 steals. Bulls by 11. Ben Gordon next of Chicago, long with a long gun. C.J. Watson brings it to forecourt.
Yeah, number 1 priority for the Pistons now has to be take care of the basketball, because when you turn it over, you don't give yourself a chance to get back. Bulls are killing it in the fast break right now.
Watson fires and misses. Austin Day with a rebound. The big man on the court for Chicago is Omer Asik. Asik, a rookie from Turkey. 7-footer, weighs 255. Ben Gordon with a bounce down low to Jason. The turn and got no tap. Charlie Vino. 34-23, still our score. 10 and 15 to play in the half. At halftime, Dennis Rodman's number raised to the rafters. 5 coverage here at the Palace. Watson runs it up and in for the Bulls, who now lead 36-23. It's a 15-2 run dating back to the first.
And that shot a moment ago, a lot tougher than he made it look.
Charlie V with a shot that's tougher than he made it look.
Sure is.
That half hook from just inside the paint. Pistons needed that one too. It's 36-25 Chicago. C.J. Watson bounces it inside, and they get the score from Taj Gibson, the big man from USC who set the screen for the veteran from Tennessee. Watson, here's the lob for Charlie V, and the alley-oop works. He connects for the jam. Rodney found him. So the Pistons with another answer. It's 38-27. And the Bulls will take a timeout.
George, you take away some of those turnovers, and the Pistons might be well ahead.
Timeout, Chicago. The Piston who wears number 10 these days. And he talked to Dennis Rodman at practice earlier today and asked Dennis what he thought about him continuing to wear number 10. Dennis said, hey, it's up to you. Let's check in now with Eli.
Well, thanks, George. We're in the hallway with Dennis Rodman. He's going to go out there at halftime and give his speech. You said this morning that you thought it was a practical joke when they said they're going to retire your number. So you must be very humbled by all this to be brought back and go up in the rafters with Isaiah Joe and the rest.
Well, it's going to be hard, but you know what? It's a great night. You know, I haven't been back in 15 years, and it's amazing that all the guys showed up. And, you know, it's going to be kind of sad because a couple key people are not here. But you know what? The fans have been gracious and hope that it'll be well.
Please don't think about Chuck Daly when you make your speech. I know you got a little wobbly beforehand. Are you going to be able to make it through? It's just 3 minutes. Can you make it?
3 minutes, only 3 minutes. I got to make 3 minutes.
But and have any idea what you're going to say besides just recognizing your beloved teammates and former
teammates and people that's in the audience, like Peter Giannopoulos, John Giannopoulos, George Blah, Mike Abner, all the guys, man, that's been here so long.
Make sure you enjoy the moment, because we all will.
I hope I don't break down.
We hope so too. We're not too optimistic though. George, there he is. He's getting ready. He says he hopes he can make it through. He said that all day. Didn't make it through the news conference. We'll see if he does better at the half. Back to you.
Thanks, Eli, and thank you, Dennis. We're so happy for Dennis Rodman. An honor so richly deserved. It wouldn't be right if you had the Pistons immortals at the Palace and he wasn't one of them.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, April in the D's underway. Here's the lineup of upcoming events coming your way. Saturday, the Wings at Nashville at 3 o'clock. Sunday, the Tigers at the Yanks. The Wings at Minnesota on Plus. And the Pistons against the Celtics on Fox Sports Detroit in HD. For a complete April in the D telecast schedules, visit foxsportsdetroit.com. A lot of good stuff all over the great state of Michigan on Fox Sports Detroit.
April is finally here. Thought it would never get here. You know, George, I remember when you and I were doing radio together, and it was early in Dennis's career, maybe his rookie year, maybe his second year. But you know, he was coming off the bench, and I remember thinking and even saying to you that, you know, if this guy ever started and got 30 to 35 minutes a game, he'd lead the league in rebounding. That's the impression he made on me early on, and obviously he proved that to be factual when he did become a starter. Had several years where he was way up there in rebounding, and you know, he found his niche in this game, and it's a niche that has brought him to this night, where he gets one of the ultimate honors that a team can put on you, and that's retiring your number.
He certainly deserves it. And it was fun watching him as a young player when you and I were working on the radio.
Yeah.
There's Austin Day with a nice move. He brings it straight up into Kyle Korver and draws the foul.
Speaking of young player, but that's a veteran move. And Austin is using it a lot. And what it does, it secures him at least one, maybe two trips to the line every game. And I know that, you know, these players in this league are so well scouted. I know that's in the scouting report on him. Be careful reaching in. He'll come up and under. But he still gets away with it every time. And there's a guy who's done it a few times.
Yeah, he had to learn that from Rip. 1 for 2 for Austin. Pistons 2 for 4. The Bulls 7 out of 8 from the line. Korver, one of the league's very best shooters, gets the screen, unleashes a pass to Brewer, and Ronnie Brewer buries it.
Good shooter. Good shooter, but he's not one of those guys who, when he hoists, I always think it's going in. In fact, I don't think it's going in, George. He has that unorthodox style of shooting, but he's a good shooter.
Count that basket. Omer Ashik with the goaltend.
That's an easy call for the officials, because once Rodney puts it on the glass, you have to leave it alone. We don't know if it was going in or not, but it doesn't matter, and the officials got it right.
Watson handles out front for the Bulls. Just over 7 minutes to play in the half. C.J. Watson dumps it off inside. The big man delivers. Omer Ashik.
Ashik with some ready hands there, and Miles has been able to penetrate a couple of times, George, and deliver to his teammates. Oh, excuse me, Watson.
Ben Gordon hits the 3 there, Gregory, and the Pistons could use a couple more triples and a stop or two to keep this thing inside 10 at the half. Right now they're down 10. Bulls ball. Korver with the catch and shoot. It's long. Way up for the rebound goes Gibson, brought it down, and the Pistons would not let him go back up. He is hacked and fouled by Jason Maxiel.
Way up there is right, George. I'm surprised he didn't just dunk it while he was up there.
Me too. 6:34 to play in the half. When the game ends, our coverage continues with Pistons Live. Hear from Coach John Kuster and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game and show you all the highlights, including the highlights of the Dennis Rodman ceremonies at the half. Pistons live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit. Joakim Noah unavailable because of the ankle sprain, and he's a big part of what the Bulls do, but when he is not playing, there's more room for Carlos Boozer to operate.
Yeah.
They've got to learn to maximize what they can do on the court together to maximize their run in the postseason.
Thank you. Absolutely. Good call there.
Gibson got them both, so the Pistons trail by 12, 46-34. And Gibson has come out and fouled Charlie V. Rodney will put it in play against Watson. To the lane, Gunn's on the run. It is off the heel, batted around, and the Bulls hang on to it. C.J. Watson to forecourt. Kyle Korver wanted to go to Boozer, overplayed well by Jason Maxio. Over to Watson, clock at 10. Watson lets it fly, it won't fall. There's Gibson with a rebound. Watson floats it up, this time fills it up, but runs over Charlie Villanueva. And that's going to be an offensive foul on C.J. Watson, which will take us to a timeout. Just over halfway through the second on Dennis Rodman night at the Palace. The Bulls lead the Pistons by 12. At the half, Dennis Rodman's number 10 will be raised to the rafters. The Worm, born in Trenton, New Jersey, grew up in Dallas, went to college at Southeast Oklahoma, and became entrenched in that state where they adopted kind of a family. Third pick in round 2 in '86. Played for the Pistons from '86 through '93 and was a world-class rebounder and defender. Take a look at some highlights.
Played at about 6'7", 210 pounds when he started. Of course, he got a lot bigger, stronger as his career wore on, but the thing that was so remarkable about him, he could guard any position on the floor. Versatility unmatched.
Amazing. There was a night Hakeem Olajuwon trying to dunk to win the game, and Dennis went up and blocked the shot. Charlie V misses on the hook for the Pistons with 5:42 to play in the half. It's 46-34 Chicago. The Bulls with 13 assists in their last 14 field goals. They don't get a score there on Korver's drive. Greg Monroe with a rebound. They shoot it ahead to Tayshaun, but the Bulls run back. They will guard you. That's their calling card under Coach Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, who was given so much credit for the defensive success of the Boston Celtics, George, in the last 2 or 3 seasons, including their championship year. So it would stand the reason that he would bring that same philosophy first to the Bulls.
And he has certainly done that. Brewer called for the shove. Tom Thibodeau, a 20-plus year NBA vet, getting a chance in the first chair in Chicago and has his team in first place in the East. As Rodney works outside against Rose, we'll get another Bulls foul. This is on Korver. And Chicago's in the penalty with 5:15 to play in the half. Let's hope to use that to their advantage, trailing by 12, 46-34.
They're not out of this by any stretch. There's no reason why they can't get well back into this before halftime. But again, taking care of the basketball is critical. You take away some of those turnovers and the points that were scored immediately off of them, and this is a different basketball game altogether.
Total turnovers for the Pistons, 8. 18 points off turnovers. The Bulls lead everybody in the East. Boston by 2, the Heat by 2.5. Orlando 7.5 back. Well, you're playing somebody when you play Chicago these days. Rip scores twice. It's a 10-point Bulls lead.
I have to wonder just how much emphasis Boston is going to put on catching the Bulls, George, because I think Doc Rivers, Danny Ainge, they probably feel like the Celtics are better served rested going into the playoffs. They can win on the road.
They could be right. Derrick Rose on kind of a busted play triples from in front of the Bulls bench.
He's still not shooting a lot, but man, he's scoring a lot.
Yeah, 16. Pistons go inside to Greg Monroe, bothered by Kurt Thomas's pass across the paint. Knocked away by Dang, but Chris Wilcox gets it back, hooks it, and hits it.
That was a heck of a pass from Greg Monroe. I mean, how did he slip that through there?
By the way, 6 shots for Derrick Rose on the way to 16 points.
That's
6
efficiency.
shots.
That's efficiency. You can't get too much better than that.
Rip called for his second foul here with 4:18 to play in the half.
This is really, really tough on the Pistons because they had cut off the interior, had played defense for a pretty good time, force it out on the perimeter, but you're forcing it to Derrick Rose, who can shoot the basketball from just about any place. Pistons zoning now, giving the Bulls just something different to look at.
Chicago by 11. Rose penetrates, baseline bounce to Kurt Thomas, and they run out of shot clock before they can get it topside to Korver for the spot-up gun.
Give the switching defense some credit there. You know, Bulls maybe not expecting it, a little hesitant. Cost them a few extra seconds, ending up in a shot clock violation.
Rodney Stuckey works against Rose. Rip shoots the pass into the corner to Tayshaun. Lobs it for Chris Wilcox, and he was pushed. Otherwise, that's going to be an alley-oop jam.
Derrick Rose. He is first.
Call foul on Rose.
You know, let's see if we can catch it. He never really got him. The hand was there, George. It looked like it, but on that replay, it didn't appear that Rose got Rose. But I mean, got Wilcox. But the Pistons certainly can use any kind of break they can get.
I wonder if he was pushed before that sequence started, because the way he had his lower back situated, it looked like someone had shoved him.
I wonder if it was Rose. Maybe it was Thomas who had a somewhat guilty look on his face.
He did, didn't he? Outside official made the call. Chris gets 1 for 2. The Pistons are back within 10. Rose's pass gets away from Boozer, but look at Boozer knock it away from the Pistons. Finds Dang inside, missed on the reverse. Goaltending is the call.
Well, again, you know, that situation where the ball is on the glass and then the defensive guy hits it. I don't think Deng's shot had any chance of going in, because it hit the underside of the rim first.
51-39 Bulls, 3:15 to play in the half. As Rip drives Korver, fires over him off the rim, but he does draw the foul. Talking about Dennis Rodman, the Bennett family from Bay City here. We used to bring chocolate chip cookies to Dennis back in the day. He connected with an awful lot of fans in Metro Detroit and throughout the state of Michigan. Rip gets the first. Keith Bogans for Korver. They'll go a little bit of defense for offense there.
You know, George, as I look at this game and I think about what's happening, and the Pistons, you know, trying to get in it, but also, you know, being somewhat absorbed by the atmosphere and the reason for the atmosphere, maybe that's causing them just a little bit of pause and delay. Maybe the reason for some of those early turnovers, because
they seem extra wired.
Yeah.
Rip on the run, makes the catch, strains the noose.
I say all that to say, you know, if they can stay close here in this first half, the second half after the ceremony is over could be a whole different scenario.
I agree. Rip has a dozen. The Pistons are within 10 now. They're down 8. As Rose dances to the corner, we get a whistle away from the ball and a Chris Wilcox foul. Oh, and 3 in the lane without guarding, I believe. That's the call, but watch Rip knock it down. The Pistons are within 8. Dennis Rodman watches his number 10 raised to the rafters. He, of course, will speak to the crowd. We'll cover it live at the half. And here's what Dennis is thinking now about his halftime speech.
But my name is tonight. It's a good night, and even tonight it's gonna be. I don't have no speech. I have no speech, and I know this. I don't know what to say. I know what to say. I'm gonna see a lot of people that I know right there in front of me.
You know what? Dennis Rodman always had a great heart, still does. And I can't be anything but happy for him tonight.
Likewise.
Rose misses the free throw. As Chris Wilcox was called for 3 in the lane without guarding. So the Bulls lead is still 8 with 2:38 to play in the half. Derrick Rose inbounds to Boozer, gets it back. Up to the wing in a hurry, as usual, to Dang down the lane. And he's stretched out for the scoop and the score. A dozen for Dang. And the Pistons trail by 10 again. Two and 15 to play in the half. Rip to the paint.
That's a foul on the 32, Richard Hamilton.
Offensive foul is called. He'll be wrapping around the off arm. Did he? Wow. That was pretty lame.
Yeah, that's pretty tight right there.
Selling the call was Keith Bogans.
Yeah. Again, the difference in this game, though, George, 10 points and 10 points off turnovers. Pistons have forced 8 turnovers, but only able to score 8 points off of them. Bulls have now forced 9, but they've scored 18 points off those turnovers. It's the difference in this game right now.
Pistons turn the Bulls over. Can they get 2 off the turnover here? Rodney off to Tayshaun. Rips come out with his 3rd foul. Ben Gordon is checked in. Tay with a baseline turn and gun. Got it. Tayshaun with 8. Pistons are back within 8.
How much arc did that shot have on it, George?
0. It had to go, and it did. Rose is open for another tray.
He is not the guy to leave open.
Isn't that the truth? Knock away by Chicago. Rose has it quickly, forecourt to Dang. Nearly over and back. Rose saved it for Luol Deng. Just over a minute to play in the half. Bulls 56, Pistons 45. Shot clock at 5 for Derrick Rose and the Bulls. To the wing, another long gun. This is off the rim. Greg Monroe with the rebound. Pistons to Chris Wilcox against Kurt Thomas. Chris fires short. Thomas boards it. Derrick Rose looks up court, finds Bogans, deep bounce to Boozer for the deuce.
That was an excellent fast break, and what a pass by Bogans, George. He doesn't shoot a lot, but you know what an unselfish act that time to make that extra bounce pass for a tighter shot for Boozer.
7-2 Chicago run, 58-45 Chicago lead. Tayshaun backs in, double team, doesn't matter.
That was tough.
Hit it over Dang and Rose.
That was
tough shot.
Tough shot, yes.
And one of those hoops you need if you want to continue to keep the Bulls within hailing distance. Chicago by 11, 58-47. Final 10 seconds, first half. Luol Deng off the dribble. Shot is off the rim. Chris Wilcox with a rebound. The full court heave is wide. So the Pistons don't get it inside 10 at the break, but they'll settle for an 11-point deficit on Dennis Rodman night at the Palace. Sizzling to 64%. Hey, the Pistons are at 50% in the first half. Not a lot of difference from downtown or at the line or on the board, but the Pistons have the edge on the offensive glass, and their turnovers, 11 of them, have been turned into 20 points by the Bulls. The 9 Chicago turnovers have been turned into only 10 points by the Pistons. Bulls really passing a great 19 assists on 23 hoops. The Pistons with 10 feeds on 19 hoops. But speaking of numbers, number 10 is up there forever for posterity now. And congratulations to Dennis Rodman.
You know, I couldn't be happier for Dennis. This was a long time in coming. You know, Dennis, you know, he really changed the way folks looked at defense and rebounding. Some of the non-glamorous parts of this game and how important they were to winning championships. He did that here in Detroit, George, and tonight he gets saluted for it.
You know, I want to say something, Gregory. Your college teammate, Irvin Magic Johnson, changed the way people thought about passing the ball. Used to be, hey, if you couldn't score, they didn't talk much about you.
That's right.
And he could score 8 points and have 15 assists, and it was a great game because it was a great game.
Yeah.
Same with Dennis. He didn't have to score to make the game his game. And as you said, I think Isaiah said it, hey, he made defense and rebounding cool.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, again, vital parts of the game. If you're going to be the best team that you can be, he was a selfless teammate. I know I enjoyed watching him play. I enjoyed watching him grow and become not only the basketball player, but the character that he became. He has fans all across this country.
And he still talked about the collective team when he mentioned that, you know, maybe he shouldn't have his number singled out, but hey, if you're going to have, as we said in the first half, if you're going to put the Pistons Immortals up there, starting with Dave Bing and Bob Lanier and running through the bad boys, number 10 has to be there. You can't leave him out.
Yeah, he has to be here. I know Dennis is probably speaking about maybe not finishing his career here, but, you know, he had some solid seasons here. And when you win the championship, that's the capper. That's the thing that solidifies it. And you're a big part of that. Let's take a look at some of these highlights. And this is the essence of Dennis Rodman.
Man, one of the quickest jumpers I've ever seen. Maybe the quickest.
And he connected with the fans. You know, he really made you feel a part of it. You know, he would run and salute before getting back on defense, but he would always be back on defense just in time. A very emotional player on the court. His enthusiasm was definitely infectious.
Bill Lambier said, Will Robinson said, this guy, that's the late, great Will Robinson, Pistons super scout. This guy will get the rebound, outlet it to midcourt, and dunk on the other end. So Bill said, Will, I'm not sure. Are you sure? Do we have to take your word for that? Well, they didn't have to because soon they saw it. And that's who Dennis Rodman was as a basketball player. And when you're playing against a guy like that, that's deflating.
Yeah. You know, the thing that made me really appreciate his defensive ability. You know, I played against the great Larry Bird, and nobody could stop him. Nobody could even bother him on the floor. But when Dennis came into the league, he was the first guy I saw get up under Bird's skin. He could really go after guys, and he took it as a challenge. And I'm sure if you would have asked Larry Bird, give me the guy who you hated to see and who guarded you the toughest, I bet you Dennis Rodman would be right top of that list.
And when you got great offensive players, if you can get under their skin a little bit and shake their cool and make them kind of a nervous angry, that's not good for the score. And Dennis did all of that and then some. Derrick Rose, who had a heck of a first half here, certainly is one of the guys who turns heads in this league this year, as he has since he came into the league as the top choice. 19 points in the first half, Gregory, on 8 shots.
He certainly hasn't been a volume scorer. 8 shots, folks. 8 shots, that's all, to collect 19 points. Well, he's hit 6 of those 8. 3 of them have come from outside beyond the arc, and he's getting to the free throw line. So he is definitely finding a way to do exactly what they want him to do. Shorten some of those shot attempts, but still score and be impactful on your teammates. He's doing all that.
The Bulls with 19 assists. He has 4 of them. Believe it or not, big man Carlos Boozer has 5 assists for the Bulls. Ronnie Brewer off the bench with 3. As Tayshaun Prince helps some of the Palace's finest clean up a little soda, maybe a little suds, maybe a little popcorn. The Pistons McDonald's Player of the Game voting update is presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Here's how it's going. Greg Monroe, then Tayshaun, then Austin Daye. Final results after the game on Pistons Live. Check your text reply for a special offer from McDonald's. I bet you Dennis Rodman got some votes. Will Bynum started the game and starts the second half.
Wouldn't that be appropriate?
Yeah. Will calmly gets to the lane and drains the deuce.
You know, we'll see what the lengthy halftime does to both these teams. You know, might it slow down and cool the Bulls off a little bit, allow the Pistons to really get back into this game?
Well, they were on all cylinders in the first half. Bogans misses the triple try from the corner. Will with a rebound. Alley-oops and a sweet touchdown by Chris Wilcox.
An easy basket transition-wise, and the Pistons need a few more of those. In that first half, George, just 3 points on the fast break compared to 14 by the Bulls.
Dang shot is in and out. And the Pistons have sliced the lead to 7, and here they come. Second minute, second half at the Palace. Crossover by Will. Finds Chris Wilcox, time for the set. Switch! 5-point game. 6 straight for the Pistons.
Hey, up to this point, couldn't ask for a better start, huh?
Not at all. The Bulls haven't scored in the first minute and a half of the second half. They get it in Derrick Rose's hands. The bounce to Boozer against Chris Wilcox. Derrick Rose back to Boozer again. 4 on the 24. Pulls his way inside, flips it up and fills it up.
You know, he's so dangerous, Boozer, when he turns out of the post, because he can go either hand, right or left, and he's hard to defend in that manner. You really can't shade him to a weak side.
Pistons to Tayshaun, bumped by Dang. That could have been a foul. Now he'll back and bump on him himself. Turns, fires, around and out. Tough luck miss. Bulls boarded. Here comes Derrick Rose. Kurt Thomas pass for Boozer. Nearly picked off. It is slapped out of bounds by Greg Monroe. Just underway in the second half on Dennis Rodman night. Hope you saw the ceremony and heard from the Worm and his Bad Boys teammates. His number 10 has now been officially raised to the rafters. Will Bynum nearly picked Rose clean. Rose down the lane, half hook, no. Rebound ripped to Chris Wilcox on the break. Nice deep bounce. Greg Monroe, perfect reverse. Always calm, cool, and collected. And this is a rookie. I know it's the end of his rookie year, but he has so much poise, Greg.
Yeah, and the thing that I was also impressed with on that drive up the floor, Richard Hamilton giving it up to Chris Wilcox, letting him make the play, George. He was ahead of the field, and Chris took his time and made a nice bounce pass.
Sure did. Boozer outside to Bogans. Missed on the long gun again. Chris Wilcox with a rebound. 60-55 Chicago. The Pistons could get it inside 5. Greg Monroe screens for Will. He guns it. He gets it.
And Derrick Rose comes up hobbled.
Hurt his ankle, it appears, or at least his lower left leg. It's a 10-2 Pistons start in the second half. And the Bulls will take a regular timeout here. Their people rush to 10 to Derrick Rose. The Pistons suddenly are within 3.
This play, you're going to see as he steps on the right there. On the foot of Carlos Boozer, it turns and he hobbles off. A lot of concern there. And while they sort things out, let's go to Ryan Fields, standing by with the man responsible for bringing Dennis Rodman to Detroit.
Yes, indeed, Special K, the architect of the Bad Boys, Mr. Jack McCloskey, longtime Pistons general manager. Jack, you're on the court with all these guys that you either drafted or traded for. What did it mean for you to be part of this ceremony tonight and honoring the Worm?
Oh, this is a very special thing to me because all the guys that I brought in here were there. One or two couldn't make it, but it was very special for me, and particularly for Dennis.
Dennis made a point to thank you personally, saying thank you for taking a chance on a kid who didn't know a darn thing about basketball when he was drafted. He was the 27th pick in the second round. What did you see in him that so many other general managers did not?
Well, they saw him in a great time down at Portsmouth. They fell off him in the next 2 tournaments. And I took a chance on I got a little greedy, and it worked out.
Not like you not to be greedy. You liked being greedy. That was all part of your MO, wasn't it?
Well, that was John Sally going ahead of Dennis, and I knew Dennis is a better player, but the rest of the league dropped off him. So that's the way it goes.
Well, clearly it all worked out for everybody in everybody's favor. Thanks so much for being with us, Jack. We appreciate it.
It's great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go, George and Greg. Trader Jack himself. Back to you guys.
Wonderful to see Jack and Leslie McCloskey back in town, as Jack's name hangs from the Raptors here as well, deservedly so. Rip now with 14. The Pistons trail 63-59. Chicago inside to Luau Deng for the cut and the hook, and he hit it. Deng has 14.
And Derrick Rose has shaken off the ill effects of that turned ankle. He's out there, and he's not looking like he's favoring it at all. But the Pistons are playing much better, George, in this third quarter.
Big shot with the up fake. Shot rolls off to Luau Deng. Rose gives it up in a hurry. So does Bogans inside to Boozer. Pistons two-time and knock it away.
Good help by Richard Hamilton to help dislodge it.
Rip across the paint for Chris Wilcox. And now to Tayshaun working against Kurt Thomas. On the wing to Rip, up behind the back, down the lane, gunning, got it! Count that baby, and a foul. Wow. Pistons going right at Chicago. And folks, this is a game.
Richard Hamilton had to go to 3 different options there. Had that 3 taken away, had the left-hand drive taken away, and now takes it into the middle and incurs 2 defenders, George. A lot of contact, but still strong enough to get it off and a 3-point opportunity.
This game's available in high def on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. And in high def, you watch Rip knock the free throw down. He has 17. Pistons within 3, Bulls with it. We're in the third. Derrick Rose with the drive, kissed the glass, no. Boozer with a follow, yes.
You know, you're weakened on the glass anytime Derrick Rose penetrates. You know, because he's peeling guys away from the window to defend him and not give him an open layup, George. And that's why Boozer was able to slip in there and get the offensive rebound.
Will Bynum slices through the defense, lays it off for Chris Wilcox. Shot blocked by Deng. The scrum for it. Kurt Thomas trying to pick it up. Chris is on the floor. And Will be called for the foul.
Where was Will Bynum? I didn't even see him in there. Can you find Will Bynum in this mess, folks?
There he is, number 12, reaching in.
The littlest guy.
He'll stick his nose in there, that's not a problem. 67-62 Chicago, halfway through the third. Bogans from the corner. Well, he's tripled twice here in the third after missing 3s in the first half. And it's 70-62 the Bulls. They're 5 for 11 from downtown. Pistons inside. Greg Monroe shot rolls around and off. Back outside to Will it goes. Bulls by 8. Chris Wilcox screens. Will's pass inside, a little hot for Greg Monroe.
George Bogans hit that last 3 for Chicago. Coming into this game, he had attempted 274 shots. 208 of them 3-pointers.
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
Defend and shoot spot up 3. Derrick Rose with the drive, corkscrew, scoop, no. Trying to save the rebound with Greg Monroe. Bulls will keep it with 5:09 to play in the third. Kind of a hoarse voice from Tom Thibodeau. Hey, we're late in the season. He's been hollering out plays since late October. Before that, if you count the preseason.
You probably wouldn't find too many coaches, professionally or collegiately, with their entire voice at 100% this time of year.
I agree. This Coach Thibodeau has to be the favorite for Coach of the Year in the NBA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There are always 3 or 4 guys who do a super job, but it'd be hard to go against him. Thomas screens for Rose. 2 on the 24. He got it on the iron somehow, but Chris Wilcox pulls it off. And as the Pistons come to forecourt, technical foul called on Derrick Rose.
I think that goes back to when he attacked on the dribble drive and jumped into the chest of Greg Monroe and didn't get the call that he was anticipating. Then was forced to hoist a very tough 3 to beat the shot clock, George. I think he was upset about that whole. Yeah, here. This is the one where I think he's upset about. Jumps into Greg Monroe, who goes straight up. That's good defense right there, folks.
I don't think that's a foul. If he looked at it again, I think he would agree.
Yeah. There's that law of verticality, and Greg Monroe abided by it in that defensive effort.
Yep, straight up is all right. Boozer steps in front, plays the passing lane, drives, scoops and scores. The big man.
If you're the Pistons, you don't
Makes
want
a
that.
heck of a play. At 6'9" and nearly 270.
Yeah, but very, very quick with those hands, and shows you his athleticism, George. That's the stuff that got the Pistons in that first half hole.
7 straight for Chicago. They go inside for Chris Wilcox. Nearly lost it to Thomas. Now does lose it in a collision with Thomas.
Thomas is 38 years old, but still very valuable, isn't he?
Darn right, he can play. Boozer inside. Chris Wilcox bites on the fake, fouls him, and now Boozer will get a free throw. Chris felt like he was fouled on the other end.
George, here's the guy that anchored my game plan, Carlos Boozer. Said he'd be dangerous. And want to remind folks, this guy has not lost a game to the Detroit Pistons in 7 years. 7 years.
He's getting all the way back. Hurt earlier this season. But he looks to me like the real Carlos Boozer. 10 straight. He has 19 as the free throw goes. Tayshaun feeds Chris Wilcox to the paint, shot wide. Boozer boards it.
Let me tell you, Thomas is being very, very physical in his defensive effort against Chris Wilcox. He is not budging when there's contact.
Derrick Rose with the handle. Knocked out of bounds by the Pistons.
Austin Day returns for Detroit.
Carlos Boozer sprained his ankle in mid-January. At that point, he was averaging 20 and 10. Since he's averaged 16 and 9. Now, part of that has to do with Joakim Noah being out and then back. He happens to be out again now. So it'd be almost impossible, despite the great record that they have, but there's Joakim, to judge how good the Bulls could be in the postseason.
They don't even come close to winning a championship without both those guys being at peak level.
Austin Day checks in, misses the long gun. Boozer boards. Rose to forecourt. It's 75-62 Chicago. Thomas's shot rattles home.
He doesn't get a chance to shoot it too often, but you know that's Kurt Thomas right there, at about that range.
Somebody needs to sign him for next year.
Somebody will. Probably somebody looking to win a championship.
Rip with a leaner from the baseline. Kurt Thomas with the rebound. 12 straight for the Bulls. They lead 77-62. They go inside to Boozer. The shot's in and out. Pistons catch a break there. Rodney Stuckey and Rip and Tayshaun, Greg Monroe and Austin Day for the Pistons. Tayshaun against Dang. Turns into the baseline, misses the shot, captures the rebound. He had to have been fouled by Kurt Thomas trying to stick it back.
This is timeout.
I guess not. Just out of bounds. We'll take a break in the third on Dennis Rodman night. You're watching Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Automotion helping in the celebration on Dennis Rodman night at the Palace. Carlos Boozer has been every bit as good as Derrick Rose for the Bulls tonight. In fact, he kind of flirts with a triple-double. He has 7 assists to go with 19 points, but he also has 6 rebounds and 3 steals. He's our PNC Bank prime time performer.
Well, he's having another really good game against the Detroit Pistons. He sort of got the Bulls going as they emphasized him big time in the first quarter. Went away in the second quarter as their defense really took over and they were able to score in transition. But now in an effort to hold off the Pistons, George, who got off to a great start in this third quarter, it's Boozer all over again, folks, doing everything. And again, causing the Pistons big time problems.
He has 9 of his 19 in the third. Tayshaun got a technical for complaining about a no call. Derrick Rose misses it. Ball don't lie, right, Tay?
Well, Tayshaun goes inside. There's some contact. And now he got pushed in the back, got pushed by Boozer, and it was missed. It was a two-handed push, too.
Eric Dalen, who did not make the call, will hand the basketball to the Pistons. Tayshaun, top side to Austin Day. They swing it to Rip. Pump fake on the baseline, got some contact, missed the shot. Tom Washington will call the second foul on Derrick Rose. How about a basketball double dip? See the Pistons and Globetrotters in April for just $30. Just pick any of the 3 remaining home games and see the Globetrotters 2 on April 7th. Call 248-377-0100 right now. We have salespeople standing by, or go to Pistons.com. Globetrotters, always great family fun. Pistons with only 3 home games left. Want to take in one of those as well, so take advantage of the basketball double dip. Rip gets 1 for 2. He has 18. Dang to the lane. Rose jumps up the long gun. No. Rip with a rebound. Quickly gives it up to Rodney. Tayshaun feeds Greg Monroe down deep. Softly with a hook. And he hits it.
Quickly, before the Bulls could set themselves defensively, the Pistons were able to strike Greg Monroe, hustling down the floor to put himself in position for an early post-up. And Derrick Rose has not been Derrick Rose in this third quarter. The Pistons have somewhat stymied him.
Boozer's been Boozer, but that time Greg Monroe stayed in front of him. Luol Deng dishes to Rose. No looker in the corner to Bogans. Long on the long gun, but he caught a little iron. Kurt Thomas with a rebound. Rose will dribble the shot clock down to 10. Crosses over, the jumper, got it.
Wow.
That was nasty.
He got isolation on Austin Day and certainly got separation with that crossover. Austin Day nearly recovered, George, to get that 6'11" arm up.
21 and 5 assists for Rose. And Rip comes up through Bogans on the move. I'm sure Austin Day picked up on and gets Bogans to foul him.
Watch this. A very hard dribble to the right and then the crossover the step back, and you're not going to be able to defend that if you're Austin Daye. Almost got back to block it, but just a hair late.
Well, you could defend it if you're Dennis Rodman, but
not many more.
Not many more.
Yeah. Richard Hamilton able to victimize Bogans for reaching in, George, and he did it out there in Trey land.
He's going to get another. The first two are already down. Rip has 20. The masked man 6 for 11 and 8 for 9 from the line. Now 9 for 10 from the stripe for Rip. He has 21. Pistons trail by 11. Closing minute, third quarter at the Palace. Rose from the top, way short. Tapped by Tayshaun, pulled down by Greg Monroe. Tay quickly to Rip. Up fake, now fires, fills it.
I like that. I like that push up the floor. Actually could have thrown it long to Rip off the rebound, but George, they didn't feel good about it, so they raced it up there and still got the early opportunity.
Now it's 79-70. The Bulls had a 15-point lead. It's been narrowed to 9. Luol Deng misses on the running hook, but gets some contact from Tayshaun. Mark Davis will hit Tay with the foul. It's a 4-pack Friday a week from today when the Pistons host Brandon Jennings and the rest of the Milwaukee Bucks, coached by Scott Skiles. Get 4 tickets for just $44 or 4 for $94 in the lower level, plus happy hour drink specials and a post-game shot on the court. Log on to Pistons.com or call the Palace right now. 248-377-0100 is our number. Teams fighting for the final playoff spot include those Milwaukee Bucks. Pistons trying to play spoiler. Luol Deng at the line. Got a split. Austin Daye boards it. 8 seconds, now 7 for Tayshaun. 6 seconds, 5. 4 seconds, 3. For the paint, for the turning gun, he got it.
Nice little momentum and confidence builder going to the quarter break.
Calm, cool, and collected. Tayshaun gets the final make for the Pistons. Kept it, was able to spin and score it on Dennis Rodman night. The Pistons pulled it within 8 of the Bulls after 3. All the bad boys were out at the Palace tonight.
Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire.
An image of Tayshaun with the final shot of the third as the Pistons had a 7-1 run and outscored Chicago, as it turned out, 25-22 in the third. They had a 10-2 start, don't forget. And now they're within 8 as we start the fourth. Will Bynum, Ben Gordon, Jason Maxiell, Rodney Stuckey, and Austin Daye for the Pistons. Dang to the lane. Watson down the lane. Ball knocked away by Austin Daye to Will. Will takes it right to the rack, reverses, and hits it. 6-point game.
Wow, he didn't even hesitate with Dang back. Will Bynum was challenging the whole time.
Look at Jason Maxiell playing the passing lane. Dishes to Will, drive, scoops short. Out of bounds to the Bulls. Well, he almost hit him with 2 haymakers.
Look at this. You think he's thinking about Dang? No. Right to the hoop with the reverse. Now, this is Pistons bench against Bulls bench for the most part. And the Pistons have to win this battle for the time that these two groups are out there, George. They didn't in the first half.
Watson on top.
Foul number 5, Austin Daye.
Austin Daye in front of him and fouled him. Omer Ashik, Ronnie Brewer, Taj Gibson, and Watson, along with the starter Luol Deng, against John Kuster's Pistons here early in the fourth. Shot clock down to 8 now for Watson. Two-time. Gibson to the lane, stripped but fouled.
Foul on Austin Day.
Austin Day got him, says Eric Dalen. 2 quick fouls on Austin Day here. This is a to the hoop call.
Shooting for the Bulls, Taj Gibson.
Coaches are wearing autism pins tonight. So are we, as a matter of fact. It's Autism Awareness Night at the Palace in support of the April 1st World Autism Day and April Autism Awareness Month. The Palace hosted the 4th annual Autism Speaks Walk Now for Autism last October as part of Pistons Care. We had a walk, 3,000 participants, and raised $200,000 for critical research and programming. It's Autism Awareness Night and Autism Awareness Month here in April. Gibson gets 1 for 2. Will drives Watson, shovels it to Rodney. The rainbow gun in and out. Scramble for it inside. Gibson gets it. 10.5 to go. 81-74. Chicago leads it. Luol Deng outside to Watson. Time for the triple try through for 3.
That hurts. That hurts. You know, it gives the Bulls some cushion. Perhaps a little longer to feel comfortable with your starters resting over there if your time through, though.
Well, they go back up by 10. Ben Gordon will drive. His pass gets away. Watson to Brewer. Blocked by Austin Day. To Jason, here comes Will. Working outside against Ronnie Brewer. Gets a screen from Jason Maxiell. The rainbow gun won't go. Gibson with a rebound. Just over 9.5 left. 84-74 Chicago. Bulls trying to sweep the 4-game season series. Watson inside. Austin Day knocks that away. Picked up by Brewer, who lays it up and in. And now the Pistons trail by 12. 6 straight for Chicago. Austin Day puts it on the deck. Hooks it inside for Jason Maxiell. Powered it up, no, gets it back. Hooks it, hits it off the square.
Well, he had to fight a little bit, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he had plenty of fight in him. Pistons trim it back to 10, 8:50 left. Watson wanted to bounce it inside to Luol Deng. Eric Dalen will blow the whistle on Rodney Stuckey, his third. We're going to a timeout with 8:45 left. The Pistons trail the Bulls by 10.
Got the biggest ovation tonight at halftime, and it's funny, looking at an old interview in McCloskey, the day Dennis comes to town, says he doesn't know how to play the game yet. Did you take it upon yourself to help teach him?
No, you didn't have to teach Dennis much. You just had to, just try to keep him focused early, and once he got focused, he stayed locked in for a lot of years, and he was a great teammate.
You said he made defense sexy. How so?
Well, just the way he played it with an edge. He played it very competitively, and he played it smart. He's a great athlete, a superior athlete, and rebounding and everything else. He marketed rebounding and defense and made people want to play it.
He said all day long, I don't really deserve this. I thought it was a practical joke. He may have become flamboyant after he left, but he's still humble, isn't he?
He's very, just a sweet, tender, compassionate soul. He's a very gentle man once you get to know him.
Isaiah, thanks a lot. Great seeing you again.
Thank you.
All right, send it back to you, George.
Great stuff from Isaiah. Thanks, Eli. On the worm, Dennis Rodman, who always has been a good-hearted soul. Pistons turn it over after Brewers make against John Kuster's crew.
I like that comment, you know.
By the way, did you see those All-Stars? That was a 92 All-Star game. Joe D and Isaiah flanking Dennis Rodman, an All-Star that year. Kyle Korver has checked in, missed it. Omer Asik got it back for him. Pistons get a stop. Will Bynum goes baseline and draws the foul. Ronnie Brewer's second.
You know, I like Isaiah's comments about Dennis being a kind, gentle soul. You know, your teammates really do know you best because you spend so much time. People don't realize how much time you spend during the course of an 82-game season and obviously preseason and playoffs with each other. And while you can have these different personas, the person that you are, your teammates really understand and know the most about that.
Austin Day missed the three. Brewer boards it. Derrick Rose back on the court with 7.5 to go. Sends it inside to Taj Gibson. Rodney Stuckey caught inside against the big man who is 6'9" and fouled him.
You'd like to see the Pistons somehow crack that barrier again, George. They had it down to 3 in that third quarter and seemed like all the momentum was tilting towards their side.
Yeah, that 10-2 start. 7-1 finish. In between it was all Bulls. Boozer on the shot, got Jason Maxiell in the air. And Jason called for the foul, his second.
Penalty. Shooter for Chicago.
7:17 to go. The Pistons in a penalty for the rest of the way. Pistons want to say thank you during the home finale on April the 11th. See them take on the Cavaliers, enter to win great prizes through the night, including a trip on round ball 1, a shopping spree, or even the jersey off the back of your favorite Piston. Get 2 tickets for $25 or 2 for $50 in the lower level. That'll be a great night. Log on to Pistons.com or call the Palace at 248-377-0100.
And forget the Cavs record, folks. That's a team that's still playing hard and actually getting better as the season winds down. They beat the Pistons last week, and they killed the Miami Heat after that.
Can you imagine all the parties that started in Cleveland? Everybody was so upset about the loss of LeBron. Boozer missed both free throws. As you look at Tayshaun and Big Ben.
I heard LeBron James was detained getting into the garage of the arena for a shoot-around, and his entourage was flat out denied entry.
Ben Gordon with the double clutch scoop on the drive. Scores it. BG with 5. It's 86-78 now. Derrick Rose works against Wolf, trying to use a Gibson screen. Gives it up to Korver. His pass inside gets away from Boozer. Out of bounds off the Pistons. They play some handsy defense. 7 on the 24. Thomas for Gibson for Chicago. He's going for the best record in the East, the Chicago Bulls. Don't want to let this one get away. 6:38 to play. Luol Deng from Thomas, missed on the long gun. Strong rebound for Jason Maxiell.
Good defensive stand, and here's a chance to get it down to 6 or 5 if you're the Pistons.
6:20 to play. Ben Gordon against Korver. Sideline to Austin for the long gun. Missed it. Long rebound to BG. But the Pistons will go over and back as his pass lands in backcourt. Tough turnover on the Pistons there. They had a chance. with the lead at 8 to make things very interesting. Greg Monroe checks in for Jason Maxio. Pistons now have 17 turnovers. So far, the Bulls have 25 points off those turnovers. Will Bynum try to step in front and play the passing lane and get a swipe. Will be whistled for his second foul. But when you're turning it over, you get a little anxious and frustrated and maybe try to create turnovers. Our next April in the D Pistons telecast is Sunday when the Pistons visit those Boston Celtics. Coverage begins with Pistons live at 5:30. The game is at 6 o'clock. Pistons basketball Sunday evening here on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Rose got them both. 10-point Bulls lead again. Derrick Rose has 23, matching Rip Hamilton of the Pistons. Rip resting right now, halfway through the fourth. Then Gordon off the dribble. The rainbow gun is short. Rebound Rose. Kyle Korver on top to Kurt Thomas. They use a little clock here. Down to 10 for Derrick Rose. The bounce to Boozer. Unloads to Dang. And he stepped out of bounds. Pistons take a timeout with 5:33 to go in the game. The Bulls, with the best record in the East, lead the Pistons by 10. Derrick Rose. And I think he should be our Marine Corps leader of the game.
I'll agree with that, George. You know, he's done exactly what his coaching staff has asked. Be efficient. And he was mighty efficient in the first half. Hit a little speed bump in the third quarter, but he's back to being the tough cover that he has been all season long. You know, when things started to slide a little bit, they found Derrick Rose, and he's finding the right people. And he's delivering on the opportunities that he's getting. No prettier move than that one to get separation and a shot off over Austin Day.
Let's take a look at his numbers. Our Marine Corps leader of the game, 23.7 for 16 shooting, 5 assists, 4 steals for Derrick Rose. Greg Monroe bounces to Tayshaun. Backs on Korver. The rim shot is short. Rose with the basketball, 5:05 to play. Hey, the Pistons are still within 10. But they failed on some positions that could have put the heat on. Korver misses. Long rebound to Will. Here comes Will Bynum. Gives to Rip. Austin Day off the glass and got it, and he knew it. Very confident using that glass.
He didn't call it, but he didn't have to. That shot was all intended to go off the window.
88-80.
And a big one because it didn't take a whole lot of time, George.
Casting and missing is Boozer. Rebound, Austin Day. Rip dumps it deep to Tayshaun, gets it back, fires, fills it up. The two 2004 world champs work well together, and now Rip has 25.
Now you feel like you really got a chance. You know, you got this thing down to 6. Time is of no essence or consequence right now.
Rose all the way to the rack. He wiggled and then he went. He has 25.
Remember what I said, though, about being committed as a help side defender and just going after him? I thought Austin Day should have made a far more aggressive attempt, George, to just go after that shot and not let Rose lay it up.
I agree with you. Kyle Korver called for his 4th foul on the other end.
See, now he's yours, Austin. He's yours. You got to get him. You got to get that.
After the screen, it was on Austin Day. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, though, in his defense.
No question about that.
Tayshaun with the jumper. Got it. He has 14. 6-point game. 3:22 to play. Korver open. Missed on the triple try. Greg Monroe with a rebound. This is Juan Tayshaun against Korver out on the court. Turns baseline and flips it up. No, but he does draw the foul. He found some room along the baseline. Korver has committed his 5th.
That was a smart move by Tayshaun Prince. Obviously, Korver not known for his defense. And when he turned and Korver was allowing him to go to his strong hand along the baseline, you've got to take that. You've got to go.
5-point game as the first free throw falls. Ronnie Brewer for Kyle Korver for the Bulls.
I don't know if that's because Korver missed a couple of long jumpers or if he was just victimized on the dribble drive by Tayshaun Prince.
Tayshaun had to settle for a split at the stripe, but it's a 5-point game. Screen by Boozer for Rose, but Will stays in front of him. Another screen, and the ball's loose. Austin Day digs it out. Will with the drive. Lays it up and in. A sweet finger roll. Capping off a 9-2 Piston run. This is a 3-point game. The crowd is loving it on Dennis Rodman night. And the Bulls take time out. 2:37 to go in the game. Held to 35% shooting in the second half. They shot 64% in the first half. So the Pistons have been digging in defensively, Gregory, and just now forced a turnover.
Look at the hands. Hands, man. Will Bynum, he took a stab at it, George, a swipe at it, and caused it to come loose of the normally sure-handed Derrick Rose. And then no prettier finish here with the left.
Wow. Will Bynum making it happen. Will has 3 steals, 10 points, 5 boards. Boozer out of the timeout. Shot blocked by Greg Monroe.
I believe the Pistons were in a zone that time, and Boozer was able to find a hole in the middle of it.
Count the basket for Carlos.
Call a goaltend and a foul on Austin Day.
Oh, he hit his head. Nothing to help break that fall, and the contact with the floor caused his head to snap back and hit the ground, George. He stays, but guaranteed he's hurting.
Oh, he's shaking it off, but you're right. That hurt. 3-point trick for the Bulls when they needed it most. Yeah. This was a 3-point game, a heartbeat ago. 93-87 Chicago, 2:18 left. Will against Derrick Rose. Austin Day comes to get it. Clock at 10. Drives Thomas, dishes to Tayshaun. Couple of pump fakes, one to go inside with it, slapped away by Thomas. Veteran move defensively by Kurt Thomas. Knows how to play.
You just said it. You just said it all. Veteran, savvy, and know-how. That's why they have him.
And at crunch time.
Yep.
Minute and 44 left, and the Pistons get a stop. Danks pass, picked off by Rip. Here comes Will, a minute and a half left. Austin Day starts the drive. Thomas called for the foul. Rip's on the floor. So is Kurt Thomas.
Kurt Thomas.
Both teams in the penalty. Minute and 29 to go. This one hurt. Wow.
I don't think either guy was faking that one.
Rip didn't back down, did he?
Let's see here. Kurt Thomas, George.
I got him at 230.
Get out of there. Rip's going about 195. Well, he's listed at 193. So there's enough of a difference there.
Sure there is. Rip with 26. Make it 27.
We got a game here.
Killed him at the free throw line. 11 out of 12 for Rip at the stripe. 4-point Bulls lead. That's all. Minute and 24 to play.
Big stop here for the Pistons because, you know, the clock quickly becoming an issue here.
Rose penetrates. Dishes. Korver missed the three. Thomas with a rebound. Outside to Korver. Quickly gives it up to Rose. Tom Thibodeau wants shooters in the corners. He's got Korver in the left and Dang in the right. Rose to Korver on the wing. Baseline bounce to Thomas. Sends it. Scores it.
Wow. Wow. There's a reason why he's on the floor in crunch time, George, as you just mentioned.
John Kuster wanted to walk, I believe, on Korver. We'll go to a timeout. The Pistons with a full timeout. Chicago now up 6. That man Rip Hamilton has gone to war with the Bulls tonight. He has scored 27 against the team with the best record in the East. And the team tied with the Lakers for the second best record in the league. The Spurs still playing 76% basketball. Lakers and Bulls at 73%. Timeouts, Bulls with a full and 220s. The Pistons with 220s. No fouls to give. Final minute. 95-89. Tayshaun runs up the hook and hits it.
That was so important because, again, scoring quickly, you're going to get at least a couple more possessions out of this, but you're weighing heavily now on your defense's ability to get a stop.
17.6 assists for Tayshaun. Pistons have pulled within 4. Rose inside, and Brewer converts. That'll take the wind out of your sails. 97-91 Chicago. Pistons could use a quick strike here. Austin Day off to Rip. This for 3. It's through! Rip has scored 30. Don't look now, but the Pistons are within 3. And the Bulls take timeout. Tom Thibodeau with some words for Derrick Rose as they head for the bench. He's coaching them all, Greg.
Yeah, he is.
But the Pistons have fought back to within 3. With the Pistons, that's the guy you got to defend. MVP candidate Derrick Rose. Rose, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant. You got to add LeBron James to that group of the contenders, I believe.
Well, yeah, you do. And but you know, these are my choices, people. Let's make that perfectly clear in that order. Derrick Rose for what he has done for the Bulls in the East. Durant, because I think Oklahoma City's a very dangerous team, and you know they wouldn't be anywhere close to that without him. And then Kobe's always going to be in the conversation.
Pistons closing fast on the Bulls, but a whistle blows. Greg Monroe called for the foul. Watson to the line. Got the first.
Pistons opting to foul quickly and save time, George, and that would have been my strategy for sure. You know, and hope the Bulls cooperate by missing some free throws.
He's a 74% free throw shooter. Brewer for Korver. for Chicago. Well, Watson got them both. Clutch free throws for C.J. Watson. Timeout Pistons. They trail by 5. Down 99-94. He set up the play that he wants during the timeout. Tayshaun Rip, Greg Monroe, Austin Day, and Will Bynum on the court.
I think the Pistons need to look at their threes.
Bouncing it inside to Rip was Tayshaun. And it is off Rip and out of bounds.
Wow.
The Pistons' 19th turnover couldn't have come at a worse time. 16.3 seconds left. Now the Bulls have the ball and a 5-point lead. 99-94 Chicago at the Palace. Pistons have gamely made a game of it. They two-time Derrick Rose, and leaping for the basketball and falling hard out of bounds. C.J. Watson. He hit the floor hard. Reminds me of the days when Dennis Rodman would come flying over press row. We got him in the lap a time or two. Watson seems to be up and all right. Nearly beheaded our statistician, Greg Schultz. We'll go to a timeout.
We're going to run home run. Watch what happens. Tayshaun. Left, right here.
As Rose was trapped in the corner. And now the Pistons get a quick shot at it, and Will lays it up and lays it in.
Well, now you need an immediate foul when the ball comes in bounds, and pretty much have to pray for Chicago Bull misses at this stage, George.
Will with a dozen now, matches that uniform number with this quick drive, quick scoop, and quick score. We have 6.3 seconds left. The Bulls took a 20-second timeout. I'm sure there were times they did not expect it to be this close. Who knows now with that, as you say, Gregory, a quick foul.
Yeah, you know, if the Pistons could have managed to get a 3 there and make it a 2-point game instead of a 3-point game, then you know you like your odds a little bit better on a foul that the Bulls might split at the line. But you know, if the Pistons can get a quick foul right now, your hope is that they have to miss 2.
Might as well go for a steal while you're blowing through somebody. That would be the ultimate. Watson looks, finds Rose, and Greg Monroe fouls Derrick Rose with 5.8 to play.
Second.
Derrick Rose
shoot for Chicago.
has scored 25. He's missed 3 of 9 free throws tonight, despite being better than 85% from the stripe on the season. Gets the first. Now it's a 4-point game. And the Bulls start to smile. Derrick Rose gets them both. 101-96 now. Tayshaun whips it full court. Knocked away by Thomas to Watson, and that'll do it. The Pistons put up a heck of a fight against Chicago. Tayshaun, I thought, had a heck of a game. Rip Hamilton outscored everybody in the building. He had 30, and the Pistons made it tight late, but fall here by 5. Let's check out our Budweiser play of the game. It was that steal that Will Bynum started, and the score when he finished it was a lefty scoop. I know you like that one, Gregory.
I certainly did. You know, Tough cover for Will all night for sure, Derrick Rose, but he was game, and Pistons stayed in it all the way to the very end off plays like that.
They did. They didn't embarrass themselves at all against the team with the best record in the East on this special night, Dennis Rodman night at the Palace. The final, the Chicago Bulls 101, the Pistons 96. Now our coverage continues as we send it to Mickey York in the Call Sam Studios.